Hey, let us see how to install Ubuntu 16.04 desktop version AMD 64 bits, of course. If you want to download it, I will put a link in the description, but this is the one we are gonna use, 1604 LTS. As you can see, it has some recommended system requirements. We are gonna use these ones for our Virtualbox. So if you open Virtualbox, allerlei. We're gonna create a new one. I'm gonna name it Ubuntu. You can see a Virtualbox sets up Ubuntu 64 bits automatically. Now the recommended memory size, as you can see, it's 2 gigs. So we're gonna create 2. We're gonna create a new virtual hard disk. Then it's named VDI Virtualbox Disk Image. Click next. It's also dynamically allocated. You can use fixed size, but it takes longer to create though. But we're gonna keep it on dynamically. Now the name of your virtual hard disk is Ubuntu automatically. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna set it up for 20 gigs. As they say, it's recommended. 25 gigs is recommended. So let's continue and create this. Now, when we are on the Ubuntu tab, we're gonna click on Settings. On the System tab, you can go to Processor, and you can select more processors if your BIOS has enabled this setting. So we're gonna use now 2 because they're saying it's a dual core processor, or better, is recommended. So I'm gonna use 2 processors. On the Display tab, I'm gonna select all the megabytes I can get. Now, if you selected the full memory of 128 megabytes of memory, you need to select 3G acceleration, or your Ubuntu version does not look good when you start it up. So make sure it's selected. On storage, you can see we have an empty disk. When we click on it, on the right side of the screen, you have a disk icon. You click on that too, and when you choose a virtual optical disk file, you select the file, the ISO file, you download it from the Ubuntu website, and this time it's the 1604 desktop version. I'm gonna click on open. Now for network, we're gonna enable a network adapter that's attached to the bridged adapter of your computer, and mainly there's only one adapter name, but some guys have more Ethernet cards. Make sure you select one that's connected to the internet. Now for USB, you can select USB 1.1, 2.0, 3.0. If you want to select these two, you actually need to download extension pack of Virtualbox. If you go to Virtualbox, you can see, if you click on the download button, there is a Virtualbox extension pack, and it's support for USB 2.0 and 3.0 devices. So you just download it, and clicking this all supported platforms, install it, and it will automatically install its files using Virtualbox Manager. So I'm gonna select 3.0, and that's mainly it. So we're gonna start the Ubuntu version for the first time. Now you can see we can try Ubuntu, so it's a live version of Ubuntu, but that's not what we're going to do this time. We're going to install Ubuntu. So we click on install Ubuntu. If you want to download updates while installing Ubuntu, you can select this one, and you can select use third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi. You can read yourself, I guess. So we're gonna click on continue. Now, erase the disk and install Ubuntu. That's the setting I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use encrypted, or I'm not gonna use the LVM setting, because you actually need to know what you're doing with these two. Or something else you can do this, but make sure you know what you're doing. Install now. If you continue, the changes listed below will be written to the disk. That's alright, because there's only one disk and it's the virtual disk we created. So we're gonna click on continue. Now I'm from Brussels. Probably the setup will take the place where you live, so we're gonna click continue. Also, make sure you choose the right keyboard layout of your keyboard. If you don't know it, you can click on the language button next to your clock. There you have your Belgian period keyboard. So for me, it's Belgian keyboard, but for you it can be a totally different one. So make sure you use the right one. So I'm gonna click on continue. Now your name, you make sure you take a name. This is the name of the computer, that's fine by me. The username is also fine by me. I'm gonna choose a password. It's a short one. So now I'm also gonna click on login automatically. Continue. Now as you noticed, I speeded up the video. The installation is complete and we need to restart the computer. First, make sure the disk of Ubuntu is not selected anymore. So we're gonna click on the Ubuntu tab, and then we click on settings. If you go to storage, you can see the disk is still in. We're not gonna restart now, actually. We're just gonna shut the system down. And we're gonna shut down. So now you can see the controller ID pops up empty of itself. That's a good thing. Just close the system by power off the machine. Then you can see it's powered off. Now we close the system and we made sure the ID secondary masters, the optical drive is empty. So start it up. This is the GNU grub version and you don't need to look at it. Just press enter or let it load. So you can see it's working fine. There are some software updates available, but we're not gonna do this time. You can see it's working. More protection, the most privacy. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.